Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager 24. It's episode 16. We're into the new year. We've already gone into debt and we weren't able to invest into anything. We've only managed to re-sign one of our four athletes as the other three have no interest in doing so. So we find ourselves in a pretty sticky situation. Added to that was injuries to both Montgomery and Nagunye in the first week of competition for the new year. Added to that was how all four were relatively or totally upset with their goals for the year. Things are starting to get a little better by mid-January. For one, physical condition is there for the entire group. For two, morale has certainly improved. King has already bounced back, and Nagunye has bounced back, and Montgomery is bouncing back. Turns out that injuries, while obviously bad for your training or development or consistency, form, all of that, it is good for you're not training. Therefore, morale, it's rest. So morale does recover. Not in the same way that rest does it, but it does recover. And so Nagunye's is fixed, and Montgomery, which was rock bottom, is now just upset. Havda is still upset, but coming back up. The key now, obviously, is going to be to get the morale up, but also to get the form. Because I found some tricks late last year with the micromanagement that really was starting to get us some results. And we're going to need it this year, because where we went from last year to this year, as I was just saying at the start of the episode, we barely turned a profit, right? A year ago, we ended up with three major sources of cash injection. The regular board injection, we had an anonymous donor, and then we had the loan. And through that triple combination, we were able to invest in infrastructure. We did better this last year, and we weren't so far in debt. And so the board injection was enough to put us into a profitable range. And so the other two didn't come. We only got one of the three. And we didn't have enough from that one to turn around and invest. Which means that if we're going to fall into that same scenario, into that trap, where we're down to just the board injection, no anonymous donors, no bank loans, we need to overcome some other way. And the obvious is that we need to make more prize money. So we need Montgomery to get her act together quick, because we need to be making slams. But we need something from Havda. We need something from Nagunye. They need to contribute to the money we're making as King continually gets better and better and competes at a higher, still junior level. But speaking of King and trying to compete at a higher level, obviously her physicals are very good and her mentals are very good. They are pro level. They are competitive for top 100. Easily competitive, probably competitive top 50 already. Her technicals are not, and her technicals will develop much slower as we don't have the training boost there that we have elsewhere. That's where we really need to make gains this season. She's got to get better there if she's going to work her way up. So forehand consistency is one of those key areas, and I've managed to get it up. Until mid-season last year, she had not gained a single technical point. By the end of the year, I think she was up to about 6. She's already got one in January for this year. So and you can see that she makes okay gains in that department. It's not rapid, but it's certainly better than all of her teammates. Like this, where Havda has a week of training focused in these areas, and she gets 3.5%. That's all. But the key is getting the buffs in the right places, because she's got all these negatives that we need to overcome. But if we can overcome the specific areas, we got the forehand consistency, which is a minor thing. Serve power is already taken care of. We're down to a few -1s affecting her key areas regarding her tactic. Last season, we won a decent amount of 300 level tournaments. So that's going to be our new home this year. I'm doing away with the 200s. I think we can consistently be competitive at 300 or above for King. So she is a 2 seed at this one, but she's got a tough draw for really both of the first 2 rounds. It's not going to be easy for her to progress. The quarterfinal is going to be a lot easier than either of the first 2 rounds would be. And other than one, yeah, tough draw. Really tough draw. We do get out of that first round, though. And the second, and a lot more comfortable with both of them than I expected. Looking at top 30 opponents going, well, a year ago, right? Anything top 25 was really challenging for us. Anything top 50 could potentially be a loss. Of course, a group aged up, right? And it slid everybody up the rankings a bit, so I get it. These are players that a month ago would have only been 40-something. But I think we are starting to pull ahead, and maybe that's the fact that we are starting to pick up those technical points just a little bit. We're going from so bad in 1/3 of our gameplay to just bad. King has picked up a knock, though, so this is a little worrying. We have the option to forfeit, but it's light. We're going to go ahead and try to play through it. It took a tiebreaker in the first, but we do win the second set as well and move on. We're into the semifinal. And after an upset from Froden, we are looking at a much easier match. The 1 seed got knocked off in the quarters. The 3 seed got knocked off in the semis. We're looking at a 26th ranked opponent in Sekirkova. If we can get past Froden, we are at a disadvantage apparently. Froden, while low in rank, apparently is a player who took a massive off-season jump and is coming on the scene as a major contender. But we do get the win here, 6-2, 6-4, 55% of the points, +9 on the winners, +5 on the unforced errors, -2 on the total forced errors. The winner's advantage definitely making the difference. And both Montgomery and Nagunye are recovered from their injuries and ready to resume play. Is it just in time? Trying to think where we're at in regards to the Australian Open and whether Montgomery is going to be cleared in time to participate. It is Sunday, so fingers crossed. I don't care if she gets knocked out in the first round. It's 30,000. We need that 30,000 bad, especially with that negative balance right now. So Sekirkova in the final. I've had Sekirkova on my roster before, and we are 3-1 against her. 3 of those matches last year, Sekirkova getting a quarterfinal win against us in 3 sets. Otherwise, we've won 3 times in 2 sets each time, but always close, right? 6-3, 6-3 is the only time that was even comfortable, let's say. Sekirkova has the better form and the slight edge on this one. 300 level tournaments for this year are the new 200 level tournaments. They are not that important, so simulate it is. Sekirkova is the champion for this one. We lose in the final, -11 points overall, -1 on winners. Couldn't keep it clean. Was the injury a part of that? Was just the quality of Sekirkova a part of that? Mentality, being in a final, very well could have been part of that. -10 on the unforced errors and equal on forced errors. Pretty clear where the difference was in this one. Looks like we're a week too late, as prep for next tournament for Montgomery is not Australian Open, and the junior comes after the senior tournament. So we have just missed out on 30,000 with Montgomery's injury, which she's still not fully recovered, and we now have 3 injuries just a week on from where we were. So this bad start to the year is getting worse. This is looking as bad as the first year. Reputation's only a 4 of 9 for the US, which is one of the highest ranked, if not the highest ranked nation. You would think that it would be a higher reputation before I would get offered a position with them. I figured it would need to be about a 6 or a 7 at the least before I get an offer. But anyway, the US has come in and offered me all 4 of the positions for World Cup Now, obviously, all of the players we have are female, so I think the choices are going to come down to the two female spots, the pro women or the junior girls. The duration, this is an interesting one. It's not infinite, it's 1 season or 4 seasons. I think right now, with our key player Martina King being in the junior girls, I think taking the 1 season in the juniors is perfect. And then hopefully they come in and offer me again following the end of that season, and then I can make the switch and go to the pros. Last year, Martina King was introduced to the junior slams and did terribly. She did well in the other tournaments, but when it came to the slams, she was awful. I don't think she ever made it to the second round, or if she did, she got knocked out by the second round. Never a run, not once. Not even to the round of 16. So as we hit the round of 64 here, with the 7th seed, she gets a difficult draw. That's the other thing about it too, is she has never had an easy draw in these tournaments. It's been one difficult draw after another, and this is no exception. This is a player that's really only just missed when it came to getting seeded, and that's who we get to play against. And then, oh wait, there's more. Even if we do get past Pericard, Sekrkova looks to be awaiting us in the round of 32, who just knocked us out of the final in that last tournament and has beat us 2 of the last 3 times we've played her. Come on. I mean, for real, this is just not good luck. I won't go with not fair, but it's definitely some bad luck that we have incurred. But we really do need to start making a run in these tournaments. For our ranking, for the finances, we're still carrying the knock. We get out of the first round at least. Huge advantage on winners, jeez. Havda, 2 tournaments ago, she got knocked out in the first round. This tournament, at least she made it to the second round. She is somebody who I'm looking at going, hey, the morale's getting better. The form isn't that bad. She should be starting to at least make second or third round situations. So hopefully we can get some consistency going for her. And of course, it's Sekrkova here in the second round. So difficult rematch. She just beat us the other day, and she's beat us again. Second round exit from a junior slam. Martina King just cannot perform at the higher levels. 7 double faults for Sekrkova. She still beats us. We take the majority of the points, only by +3, but we still lose. +9 on winners, +1 on unforced errors, -6 on forced errors. That's the difference. Really? By the way, serve speed. Look at that. 93 miles an hour, up from 91. With the other athletes finally back in action, back from their injuries. Havda loses in the second round. Montgomery was out in the first, and it's a qualifier late in the week for Nguyen, and she's out in the first round. So none of the 3 of them are doing much, other than Havda starting to consistently make second rounds, but that's about it that we've seen so far. King's early exit from the junior slam saw her form take a bit of a hit. Her control is down to 0, and she's down to 1s in a lot of attributes there. I've started to rebound from that, and I've continued to make progress. I have gained 5 attribute points, all in technical areas, for King just in the last couple of weeks. Like I said, we were at 5 all last year, or 6 all last year, so we've already nearly matched it by the middle of February into this season. Part of that, though, is because you finally get this, revolving door of attributes that are on the verge versus those that just made progress, where at the start of the game, they were all at bare minimum, and I wasn't training technical at all. In a short span of time, where our minimum was a 5 and mostly 6s, lots and lots of 6s, we're down to just 2 6s, and drop shot is right on the verge of getting to 7, and control's not far off either. So we're pretty close to a minimum attribute now of 7. and definitely progressing. And top spin just crossed over to a 10, our first double-digit attribute in the technical category. All right, so we're into new or new-ish territory. I think we did one 500 level tournament last year. We're going to see a lot more of them this year as King is now a top 10 player. We've got to start playing like it. The 1 seeds here, Tyra Katarina Grant is the 8 seed, so you kind of get an idea of where we're at with the rankings. I'm high in Sekarkova is the 3 seed for this tournament, so I'm the 2 seed. Yes, I am. So Martina King comes in as the 2 seed for this one. A little bit surprising, but I think a lot of the juniors in the top 10 are not really competing in the juniors anymore. They're competing in the seniors and then just coming down for the slams and then coming in and kicking butt to maintain their rank. Finally, a decent draw, though, should see us at least get to the round of 16 against Barros, or whoever gets through at that point, with a real shot to make a deep run in this tournament. An easy loss. We got our butts handed to us. Are you kidding me? What is going on with Martina King? She's got good mentals, yet she can't handle pressure at all? Or is her technical vulnerabilities really that bad? She got slaughtered. She absolutely got her butt handed to her. This is possibly the worst loss she's ever had, and she had a huge advantage for this one. She was this was supposed to be an easy match. This is really starting out as a very, very bad year indeed. We should have had a positive balance before the end of January. We never did. So by mid-February, we are making absolutely no progress. We're not winning anything. There's no prize money coming in. Virtually no prize money coming in right now. I'm at a loss. I mean, this is almost as bad as season 1. Folks, we're at a low point here. I asked for this. I asked for the hardest setup you could possibly have, but I didn't expect this level of underperformance. It's been rough. It's been real rough. We've got a lot of work left to do, folks, but it's not over yet. This episode is, however. That's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.